bring in via Zoom the National Professional Teachers Organization of South Africa's Basil Manuel, who's the executive director there. Basil, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks as always for making time. So what do you make of this decision? Long overdue, right on time, or a bit premature?
Good morning, Ayanda. Well, right on time, I would say, because as the teacher union collective, including Naptosa, we've met with our people in the science fraternity to test the waters with them, and that was about 2 weeks ago, to be led by it, because we've always said we'll be led by the science. And they assured us then that the time is right now for full return. And over and above that, of course, we are aware of the losses. We are aware of the culture of school attendance being lost. And that is our greatest concern, and that is what we want to see return before we even dive into the debate of catch-up and how we catch up, etc. Let's get the kids back, and we certainly, as Naptosa, are welcoming this as a right move at the right time.
Right. The other challenge now, of course, will be to get the message out there. I don't imagine all classes will be filled from today. Do you imagine that to be a mammoth task or something that's relatively easy to carry out?
Ayanda, I think it will sort itself out. We meet tomorrow with the minister to plan to ensure that we get everybody back, and we will set a date by when everybody must be back. From today, of course, a number of schools start filtering back, and by tomorrow the news will really be out, or rather within the course of today. But we've got to plan it, and we've also got to ensure that the schools who hadn't planned for this, some schools certainly have been planning, that we give them a few days also to get their act together. Remember, it's about timetabling and a whole lot of other things that are now different. And also to ensure that schools have the requisite teachers, etc., because that has been our cry for a little while in some provinces at any rate. And then, of course, we haven't given up on our concern about overcrowding. We need a plan where in the long term we can address those chronically overcrowded classes. But over and above all that, we still want to say COVID is still here, and we need to now ramp up how we address those non-pharmaceutical measures that are now no longer going to be so pronounced. But we want to talk about masks, we want to talk about the hand washing and the like, because safety is still our major concern, and especially to get the children who can and the adults, the teachers and the general workers who have not vaccinated to now vaccinate.
You've really preempted my next question. I mean, with schools now returning to full-time classes, the implication that social distancing probably won't be able to happen any longer. Do you feel you have enough details about how to deal with instances where you do get breakouts on schools? Because, as you've rightly put it, COVID definitely is still with us.
One of the big issues is to look at our protocols now. And we've started that process a few days ago. And we've been invited to make inputs. But, of course, some of this is bound in science, and we've got to consult with people who know more about the virus and the direction the virus is going in. And certainly, there are going to be issues where we've got to be far more careful. But we've also got to have plans in place about dealing with, as you've said, an outbreak. How are we going to look at it now? We've heard about the isolation, and we've heard about people who are positive. But when a mass of people does become positive, and we're worried about our high schools, we must have a plan. We don't have that in place now, but we hope that in the next few days it will be there. Certainly, we are back to the place where we are on a learning curve, because every day with this virus, we've been learning new things. And if there's nothing new now, we've got to learn new things again.
Absolutely. Certainly a new phase for everyone involved. But I think most people are certainly hoping that the kind of disruptions we've seen are behind us at the very least, especially when we consider what's at stake. For now, thank you very much for your reaction. Really do appreciate it. Basil Manuel is the Executive Director of Teachers Union, Naptosa.